Mr. Speaker, I hope I won't try the patience of the House, Mr. Speaker, because I will be making a further statement on this topic later this afternoon. But I do want to take the opportunity to join you in welcoming Ms Thunberg to the United Kingdom Parliament and her team. We tried very hard to meet personally, but despite the best efforts of our diaries, we couldn't do it. But I know she has met many, many members of the House of Commons and indeed my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for the Environment, today. Mr. Speaker, I have to say that watching these protests both here and globally over the last few days has raised slightly mixed emotions in me. On the one hand, there is excitement that the conversations that many of us were having 30 years ago about climate change are finally moving from niche to mainstream. And the question is not why act, but how fast can we act? Secondly, we understand completely the brilliant scientific evidence base, the motivation and the commitment that is driving people out right across the world to make their views known. But I worry, Mr. Speaker, that many of the messages we're hearing ignore the progress that is being made and as such make people fearful for the future rather than hopeful. Here in the UK, thanks to excellent cross-party working, we were the first country in the world to pass a Climate Change Act. We have led the world in reducing the carbon intensity of our economy over the last 40 years. We've made huge progress on plastics-free activity. We have renewables last month contributing over 40% of our electricity supply. In fact, we've had our longest ever period of no coal contributing to the generation in the UK just this last weekend. And we have over 400,000 people now working in the low-carbon economy. Of course, we share the desire to raise the ambition for this country, and that's why we asked our own independent committee on climate change to advise us on how we should best reach a net zero target. We were the first industrialised country to actually ask for that advice, and I'm pleased also to welcome cross-party support for our bid to host the crucial United Nations climate change talks next year. But I do have to say, Mr. Speaker, that although the protests have been respectful and good-natured, they have caused disruption for many hundreds of thousands of hard-working Londoners, and they have required a heavy policing presence. And I do want to thank the police. I'd like to thank the police. I think we should all agree on that, for their professionalism and proportionate response, especially over a holiday weekend. Mr. Speaker, we know that we need to continue and accelerate the decarbonisation of our economy across all aspects of activity and crucially help those other countries around the world, especially those who are not at the same stage as economic development as us. And this is going to require a broad-based, engaged, informed debate to deliver the low-carbon progress that we need, one that is fair, just and progressive and can be shared. I'm pleased to say, Mr. Speaker, that our progress to date has been supported by all political parties, and I do pay tribute to the Right Honourable Gentleman who has posed this question for his great leadership and continued support in this area. Our work has been supported by all political parties in the UK, and I hope we can continue to work together to drive the changes we must make to secure our future. Mr. Speaker, we have to secure the future of Planet A because there is no Planet B.
Ed Miliband.